we've got summer celebration going on over here. Next Tuesday, I believe, is summer solstice. So that's what we're going to talk about. How do we how do we be flexible and stick with our goals this summer? That sounds like a mouthful, but also an important conversation.
Hey, Greg. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Bella.
Yay, so Kristen can see all of y'all that are joining. That's how she knows to say hey, and you can say hey back to us in the chat box. So we would love for you to join us, check in. Of course, usual protocols. Grab your tasty drink. I've got some ice cold water in here because it's like 142 outside, I think. Some watermelon sounds really good. So let us know what's your cold beverage? What are you eating? I had a conversation with a client the other week. She's like, I don't know what to do because I just don't want food during the day. I'm like, it's okay. I get it. So we talked about cold, delicious daytime ways to stay well balanced, which is something we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, summertime nutrition is just a totally different feel than other seasons, right? It's hot, we're in play mode, or we're in relax mode. We've got more things going on. So I can't wait to dig into this topic.
And we're curious if there's any specific goals that you all are trying to stay on top of this summer. Please drop those in the chat box so we can talk about them, tie those in specifically.
Hey, Jackie. Hey, Stephanie. Thanks for joining. All right, so welcome. We are Well Balanced Nutrition. Lucy and I are presenting today. Bella's in our chat box. We are registered dietitians, nutrition and wellness coaches, and we are in the triangle, the triad, and virtual. So today, what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk all about how to enjoy your summer without sabotaging all of your health goals. We're going to talk about, building a balanced plate. If you've started to enjoy more barbecues and socializing, remember that, y'all. Socializing with other humans, it's happening again, especially when we can all be outside. But I've discovered not everybody is planning their menu based on the rainbow or the well-balanced plate. So we've got some tips on how you can still stay balanced at those gatherings and how to nourish yourself without turning on the stove, because that's real. It's hot. I don't want to stand over the stove any more than y'all do.
So in the summer, we've got cookouts, we've got weekend getaways, we've got a lot of fun sweets, and we've got the pool, happy hour, road trips. The kids are home from school and it's hot outside. So how do these things affect our nutrition and our well-being? Well, it might have you wanting to push the pause button on any health and wellness goals or efforts that you have. So if you're in the chat, if you could just put a 1, if you've ever just thought about, if I could just push the pause button, it's just too busy right now. It's definitely a common thing, so you're not alone. But, raise your hand if this has ever been a thought.
We had a shy bunch today.
That's okay. That's all right. So I just want you to think about, it would be nice if we had this big pause button, but we're really going to challenge you to change your perspective when we think about the pause button. Because the pause button implies that it's all or nothing. And this could mean, I'm pressing a pause because I'm not doing anything. So you might stay up late every evening. Every meal is on the go and last minute. You enjoy every single sweets and drinks that are available and just not really taking into consideration your health and well-being. So that's really what the pause button might imply. And then it also means if you're not pausing, that you're working out every day. Every meal is perfectly planned and carefully considered. And then you're thinking all about your health and wellness goals and nothing else. So neither of these sides of the coin are really helpful to us. So what can we do instead?
Dial it in, dial it back. When Kristen presented this concept to us, it just clicked, because it's like, that's exactly what I think as dietitians and just in the field, it's like, well, this is what I do anyway, but it's not always intuitive for everybody out there to think that there's a lot of gray space between that all or nothing. And that's really where you find well-balanced living, because instead of having to plan every meal and work out every day, then there's this opportunity to take what it is that you love about summer and figure out how to work that into your otherwise healthy habits and healthy lifestyle. So we've got a lot of different examples, and they kind of go in order of how much effort you want to put in or how much time and energy you have on that particular day. It's not like this is going to be every week, because I think that's that's the thing that I've realized about summer is, with the kids out of school and the routines different and the days feel like they go on forever, then each week feels a little bit different. So it's like some week you might be able to cook at home 5 days, and some other, it might just be like, well, I'm going to be really excited if I prepare 3 meals or 2 meals at home this week. So figuring out what is going to work for you, and having that opportunity to kind of look ahead a little bit and know, like, oh, I'm going on vacation this week, so the sandwich weeks on either side of that are not going to be like, oh, I have all the time in the world, because we all know getting ready to going and coming back is like, it's a whole experience. It's a roller coaster of emotions. Your time is not your own. If you have small humans in your life, you get the picture. It's not exactly always the most relaxing experience, except hopefully that part in the middle where you're just laying on the beach, sipping on something cold and delicious. So all that to say is, figuring out, okay, what do I have the energy for? While I'm on vacation, I'm not cooking at home, but maybe I'm going to really focus on getting my protein and my veggies and complex carbs as much as possible. So those are some tips, and maybe Kristen wants to expand on this for us, or maybe you want to share in the chat box, what's the hardest part for you, where you could maybe put in a little bit of effort.
Yeah, and every little effort counts. So instead of thinking all or nothing, it's just how much you want to dial up or dial down for that particular day or week or season. So even if you're not having a ton of time, you can always eat mindfully, right? You can just do your best to be present in the moment and be able to listen into your own wisdom, to be able to stop eating when you're full, and to, try to get in regular meals during the summer. Maybe you dial it up a little bit and you're going to focus on at least one meal being a little less processed or homemade, instead of fast food. Or maybe you dial it up a little more and you're going to focus on getting a veggie in once or twice a day. So these are just examples. It really isn't a hard thing for everyone. These dials might look different for everybody, is what I was trying to say. And it really is just how much you want to ramp up, or how much you need to just be mindful, be in that moment.
Yeah. And that idea of perfection and how it used to be, I really appreciated Sarah's comment about imperfect consistency. It is this idea of, if you had this really good thing going and you're in a groove, and then something shifts because you traveled, or because you've got summer camps and this and that, it's like, okay, I just need to focus on progress and those small changes versus that perfect picture that, well, it used to be this way. And if it can't be that I'm going to work out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 o'clock, then there's just no use. It's like, okay, how can I shift that? And how can I include maybe more playful movement if I'm not having time to go work out at the gym?
Absolutely. So with that dial in mind, let's move forward and talk about 3 strategies for summer success. Number 1, be choosy with your summer plans. Then we're going to talk about building a balanced plate. And then 3, summer meal ideas. So let's dive right in. Oh, do we have a poll for our audience today, Lucy? I don't think we do.
We did not add one. I would love to know, personally, because it's on my mind, like your favorite barbecue food. So if that's a fair question, I'm really excited for corn on the cob to be back in my life. So that's the one that's top of my mind right now.
Now, when you say barbecue, do you mean the grill or like a get-together kind of barbecue?
I grew up in Ohio, so it's like we just called everything a barbecue if you were outside eating food.
Okay.
But I'm told that is incorrect, and that a barbecue is when you're just cooking, like specifically meat on the grill. So how about any kind of summer gathering food that you like?
Summertime food.
Yeah, summer food. Good clarification. I'm finally learning to like watermelon. If it's a good watermelon, then I can really get excited about that. What about you, Kristen?
I know it's a little late in the season, but last weekend, it was the very last day of strawberry picking, and we got to pick 2 big baskets of strawberries. So just because that's fresh on my mind, I've been enjoying a lot of strawberries.
Excellent. Oh, yes, Stephanie likes ribs. That is a close follow-up for me if my brother-in-law is cooking them. Right there with you, Stephanie. I love me some barbecue ribs on the grill.
Grilled corn is pretty amazing. Yes, Sarah, I did it. Oh, Sarah and I were talking about getting in the strawberries the last minute, so we didn't miss out on the season.
Awesome. Thanks for playing along. Well, as you each know, as you smoke brisket, nice. There's so many extra things to do this time of year. You know, we talk a lot about how the holidays in December, that can be really busy as well, but summertime can be really full as well. You know, there's birthday parties and pool parties, and like Kristen said, happy hours and all kinds of good stuff that we want to say yes to, because who wants to miss out? We've been missing out on the fun for long enough. I want to say yes to everything, but that might not always serve me well. So, Kristen, what does it mean to be choosy about our summer plans?
Yeah, in case you need it, this is just your permission slip to say no and to think of yourself and your well-being before you say yes. So everything might sound like a great idea. And if you're an introvert, you're like first to sign up. And then when it comes closer, you're like, oh, did I sign up for that? So just keeping your own wellness in mind and being okay with missing out sometimes so that you can be home and recoup, or maybe that's cooking a meal at home that you need to cook, or if it's going to cause you to have to go here to here to here with no downtime to do anything for yourself, then we just encourage you to reconsider those plans and just give yourself permission to put some me time or self-care or time to get stuff done for you and your family in there.
Yes.
Do you agree, Lucy?
I agree, and we've got some more practical examples to walk you through with that in mind. I have a personal house policy for myself. My husband can do whatever he wants, but he's an introvert, so he just kind of does whatever I set up for him. Play games too much. But my personal policy is that I don't want to do consecutive workday activities. With a toddler, I barely go out after the stars come out anyway. But, um, especially like when things are happening during the week, if there's a happy hour or a dinner that we're invited to, if it's on Wednesday and then somebody says, hey, let's go do this other thing and it's on Thursday, that's a hard no for me. It's just an easy way for me to be more choosy because I'm going to have to really decide which one of those activities seems like the best use of my time and energy, because I know if I do multiple days in a row, then I'm going to be just basically spending the weekend trying to catch up with myself. And I like to go out and play on the weekends. So where maybe you need to have your own personal policy of what's going to make it easy for you to say yes or no and still taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I like how you have in here consider travel fuel or coordinate the barbecue menu. Those are ways that you can still say yes to an event, but have a little more control over your own fuel. I like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very natural for me to do these things, but it might not be something that's crossed your mind. And when we say coordinate the barbecue menu, it doesn't mean you have to go out and buy and prepare all this food yourself, but I will tell you, people love when you make decisions for them or give them options.
Delegate. Yeah.
Delegate 100%. Be like, oh, okay, well, we're going to make this happens at my house all the time. It's like, cool beans, we're going to grill some chicken breasts, hot dogs, and some burgers. And we'll have the buns and some like lettuce, tomato toppings. And then here's this list of things that we would love to have on the side. Can you bring the watermelon? Can you bring a salad? Can you bring dessert? So that way, I know that I have the food that I want to fuel my body in the house. And then for people that want to contribute to that menu, here's my list of ways to bless this event.
I love that. And I agree that it would be nice to have that list to choose from, because when you have to sign up to bring a side, you're like, holy cow, what am I going to bring? And you have all the options in the world, but you don't know what else everybody else is bringing. So I know sometimes people don't want to be pushy or annoying, but having that list is actually quite helpful and not the latter.
Yep.
Not
Exactly.
the first. Yeah. So speaking of bringing or coordinating, it is always nice to bring your own fruit or vegetable, because that's probably, unless you're going to a health-minded event, that's probably the thing that gets left out the most. So it's definitely my strategy. I know it's Lucy's strategy. If we get invited to a place, we're going to bring something that's a fruit or a vegetable. So you can borrow our strategy. Be that person to bring a salad, fruit, or vegetable.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't have to be, it can be uncomplicated, if you just need something that's super simple, you go to the grocery store and pick up one of those fantastic little done for you veggie trays. Totally fine. Fruit trays, awesome. We fully support taking help from the grocery store. And that way, it's going to be there. Those are sometimes the most neglected thing on the tables as well. I've started asking my husband, he's more artistically inclined. So I have him put the vegetables into shapes to look like animals or Christmas trees, depending on the time of year. So you can get as creative with it as you want. And it can be as simple as you want. There's many times that I literally just cut up tomato, add some basil with it, and maybe a drizzle of balsamic vinaigrette, and bam, that is my side dish. The world's simplest tomato salad.
I love it. And absolutely okay to be simple and to use the store. And at the same time, fruits and vegetables you can do so many things and get as creative as you want with those. If you're in our Facebook group, there's a produce tip every Tuesday. And there's just any fruit or vegetable in season, there's a really cool appetizer that you can make with it. So, but a fruit salad, we might share some other fun dishes that can either be a lunch or a potluck side that you bring later if there's time. All right, so what do you do if there's really not a ton there? Like we talked about with the dial, every effort counts. So if you get, if you're at a gathering and it's just pizza and breadsticks, eat that mindfully and tune in and just enjoy the experience. That's effort right there. You want to dial it up a little bit? Do they have a salad or did you bring a salad? Have that salad on your plate with that pizza, and then maybe you need one less piece of pizza and one less breadstick. You want to dial it up even more? Put some fruit with your salad, and maybe you have this is rarely an option, but maybe you have like a bean soup or some kind of bean side to increase your fiber. And there you've dialed it up quite a bit because you've got a lot of plants and fiber on your plate and you get to enjoy that delicious slice of pizza. So I love this example. It is from Full Plate Living, and I had to share it because this is a great way that you can build a balanced plate at a pizza party at pool night or wherever that might be.
Mm-hmm. And a good reminder of it's not the all or nothing. It's that dial concept that Kristen brought us back to of, if you just want pizza and you're not feeling the salad tonight, that's fine. Like enjoy it, eat it mindfully, but to dial up your nutrition efforts with that meal. I have a weird habit as well, where I have like carrot sticks in the fridge pretty much all the time, so I can shred that or peel that, and I put it in a little baggie or saran wrap, and I take that to my gatherings, and it's like no matter what, I know I have vegetable in my purse or my bag.
Funny side story. When Lucy and I worked for the same clinic together and on the wellness team, I have vivid memories of her sitting down at the party and pulling out an entire thing of peanut butter and just a full raw carrot. So you have always carried carrots around. I love that, Lucy.
Yeah, and I still carry it with peanut butter if I don't know what else I might have available.
I love it. Well, let's share another example of a plate at a party. What do you say?
Good plan.
All right. How about fried chicken? This could be sometimes a gathering and you could just have the fried chicken, the mashed potatoes, and roll. Certainly a time and a place for that because that's delicious. But if you want to dial up your efforts a little bit, put a salad on half of your plate. And then maybe you take the skin off if you don't really like the crispy anyway. And then you can still have the mashed potatoes. Another is a hot dog party. That's pretty common in the summer, right? So you could have hot dogs and French fries, or maybe there's a pasta salad. Maybe you even brought it. So you're going to put that on your plate. And maybe there's some vegetable toppings you could put on your hot dog and then, an apple on the side. So 2 more examples of how you can adjust your plate and add more fiber, more colorful fruits and vegetables, and still enjoy the main foods at the party.
Mm-hmm. And another great example of something that you can bring. So if you're not prepared to buy apples for the whole party, if it's a large event, that's okay. You're allowed to bring something that's just for you or just for you and your family. So keep that in mind. It's generally okay. I have been asked at restaurants to put my own food away. So that's a real experience that you could have. But for the most part, people understand if there are certain foods that you need or that you prefer. And that's not something to be ashamed of. I always give the example when people are saying that they feel bad for not eating certain foods because they're going to offend somebody at a party, I say, well, are you familiar? Do you know anybody that has celiac disease? For the most part, people know somebody in their life, and that's where they have such a severe reaction to gluten that's in wheat, barley, and rye, that they can't eat, or else it will make them very sick. And I'm like, so I don't see a difference. Obviously, there's a medical difference, but to say that, oh, well, would you judge somebody that has celiac disease for not eating the hot dog buns? Probably not. It might make you question, I wonder why not. But that's for them to worry about. For you is just to wonder, okay, what on this whole array, this buffet of food that's being offered, what's going to serve my body? What's going to feel good and fueling and nourishing and maybe a little fun? But not eating because you need to protect somebody else's feelings. That's not your responsibility.
Yeah, I think that's a really great boundary to remind people of, and permission slip that you can bring your own food. You can stand up for your own health and well-being. It's not going to hurt anybody else's feelings. And Sarah even says, she packs her food when she travels and has experienced similar, that it feels good when you have your own food, and it's okay. Another boundary kind of thing that I'd like to slide in here, because we're talking about barbecues, is everybody in here might be on the same page, but I wish the whole world could hear this, that keep your eyes on your own plate. You don't have to worry about what's on other people's plates, and they don't have to say anything about what's on your plate, and you don't have to say anything about what's on their plate. I just wish we could all do that. So if someone does say something about your plate, you don't have to go into detail about why you're eating what you're eating. It's not really, it's just kind of a boundary you can set for yourself.
Sorry, I can't help but chuckle because, yeah, I know myself, probably Kristen, maybe Bella as well. People often are going to be scrutinizing what's on our plate, whether because we have something different than what other people are eating. Maybe it's less, maybe it just, maybe it's the same, but they're like, ooh, what's the dietitian eating? So it's human curiosity, and not to begrudge anybody their curiosity, but less judgment, more acceptance.
Yeah. All right. Our third strategy is to have some no cook, quick cook, or slow cook meals up your sleeve for when time is crunched or you just want to spend more time outside and less time in the kitchen.
I love these. So this first slide is from our lovely Bella, who is going to be focusing on more plant-based meals, as you might know. So she's combining here. You can see some of the colorful foods that she combines. She's got those frozen bags of vegetables, super simple. I love it. It's probably the best deal at the grocery store these days because somebody already cut it up for you, washed it and prepped it for you. And B, it's usually even more, just as if not more nutritious than the fresh options because they pick it and freeze it, locking in those nutrients. So that's why we are all about some frozen vegetables, and then having some already done for you complex carb, like the Trader Joe's frozen brown rice that Bella likes to use. I'm all about the Seeds of Change bag of mixed grains. And then Bella adds a can of chickpeas to that with your dressing of choice, which I really like because you can have these same basic ingredients, the vegetables, the brown rice, and the chickpeas, but it really changes the whole experience depending on what dressing. So it's like, okay, today I'm totally feeling some ranch dressing, just go back to my childhood. But other days I have this harissa dressing. It's kind of a Mediterranean spicy thing, and that's just going to be a very different flavor. So that's a nice basic formula for a go-to meal that doesn't require too much effort or time.
Yes, thanks, Bella, for sharing.
Thanks for coming, Stephanie. We'll see you next time. All right, so these are some of my go-tos. Oh, very nice. So it looks different. I like what you did here, Kristen. So I have a different formula that I use, which is, of course, well-balanced plate. If you have not been introduced to the well-balanced plate, don't worry. We talk about it all the time. So just catch us on another call and we'll talk your ear off about it. But with the plate in mind, figuring out, okay, what are I love to have a few already done for me proteins. I've been pretty much selling the Adele's and alfresco chicken sausages for them for the last 7 years. So I usually have some of those in the refrigerator for my, like, I don't feel like cooking kind of nights. I did discover, I think it's Lidl and Aldi's has these delightful, I'm sure that other grocery stores have them too, but already done for me proteins. They have chicken and pork, barbecue that's shredded. It's in a bag. It doesn't look super appetizing, but you put it in a bowl and heat it up and it looks great. So I have that already done for me, protein, and then adding those pre chopped and prepared, what are these called? Salad kits and other vegetable kits. Those are fantastic because, my apologies, because they, again, have done the effort of washing and chopping for me. So I just have to open the bag. I will say Mother Nature prefers when I wash and prep my own fruits and vegetables. So when there's time, I certainly try to do that. Um, but there's no shame in taking help from the grocery store again. And then having that easy complex carb to go. I mentioned the seeds of change that I like to use for a rice base, and or sometimes we just have some Taco Tuesday action with the tortillas. Um, and then other days it's like, okay, let me just take all this food and throw it on the grill. Easy peasy.
I love it. I love the chunky vegetables there. That's another great thing about grilling is you don't have to chop as finely. You just have these large chunks of veggies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So some of my favorite summer meals, wraps. I love these Olay Extreme Wellness wraps, high in fiber. They're really soft. They taste great. So putting anything in that wrap, I think, is a fantastic summer plan because you can put whatever fresh veggies you have. It could be lunch meat. It could be a chicken salad. Um, it could be leftover chicken that you have, whatever. And then in the middle, what you see, this is what I set up for myself last year when I went on summer vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I just had some time to think in advance. So I stocked up on some frozen vegetables and I marinated a couple sets of chicken breast. And I love Primal Kitchen dressings. If I have time, I would make them myself. But if I don't have the time or energy, it's exactly what I would put in it at home. So I feel really good about just putting a half a cup of the dressing in for about a package of chicken. And then I can pull this out of the freezer and I can either grill it or I can put it in a slow cooker for 4 hours
Mm-hmm.
and bam. And so the broccoli would be steamable. And then this is yet another brand of a microwavable grain. It's called Ancient Harvest. So I came home from that summer vacation and I had a meal ready because I knew I would on that particular vacation I'd be tired of eating out. So I was happy that I did that for myself. And you can do it at any point in your summer. And then don't forget to pack snacks. I am all about travel snacks, pool snacks.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a picture of some of my recent snack bags that I've packed.
What's combined with the popcorn?
It was pretzels and cashews. These are like
Mm,
the Stacy's flat pretzels. So
nice.
good. And then another thing that I go to often, especially if we're going to be at the pool all day, is I'll put in some chicken in the crock pot pour over a jar of salsa on it, and then I can basically do whatever. It's usually like a taco night where the kids do your more traditional tacos, and my husband and I will do like a loaded taco salad. And it's nice because your family gets to pick their favorite toppings. It's pretty easy to come home and chop up a couple things. And it's versatile enough for most dietary needs to do kind of this Tex-Mex thing. So it could be a tostada, like you see in this picture. It could be a taco. It could be a wrap. So that's another item that's always in rotation at my house.
Mm-hmm. So good. And this is a side. Oh, yeah. We definitely want to see 2 more, right, y'all? Put a 1 in the chat box if you want to see those videos. And then just as a side note for Kristen's example there, whenever I start to get bored of my rotation, then I remember my favorite go-to solution, which is to deconstruct things. So just as an example, I had a client, in the wintertime, she ate a lot of shepherd's pie. And she's like, okay, I know I need to stop eating shepherd's pie, but I still want something that's simple. So this idea of deconstructed shepherd's pie is like, you can still make the mixing for that. So the insides with, what is it, like corn and peas and meat and sauce. And then to make it more summery, she can eat that with a salad instead of having the whole casserole situation. So that's one of my secret techniques to not having to completely reimagine my summer menu, but to take some of my winter favorites and make them more summery.
Brilliant. That makes me think of egg roll in a bowl too. That's a popular dish. Really tasty.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we will show you 2 quick food demos that are great for either a lunch or a. Let me turn my volume down because the music.
Oh, I think that helps.
Here we go. Number 1 is the Green Goddess salad, and we walk you through how to make the salad dressing. But again, it's okay to get a store-bought shortcut, and I like Primal Kitchen's Green Goddess brand or Green Goddess dressing. But if you just have some parsley and basil, garlic, lemon juice, cashews, then this can all come together pretty quickly. And if you do have the time and energy, it would be really impressive to bring to a potluck that you made your own nice, lovely dressing. So you're tossing all of this into a blender or a food processor. And the result is a really fantastically green dressing. So another reason I like this is because you can buy the romaine lettuce in 3s. So this could be really easy to make a big batch of for your next potluck or just for yourself. And cucumbers are always in season. Uh-oh, there we go. Not always in season. Cucumbers are great for the summertime, and cherry tomatoes are easy to find as well. And those cherry tomatoes are packed with lycopene. It's a great snack. Then you just take some canned chickpeas and you combine all of the above. Oh, and canned artichokes. That's another way to add in some veggies that you might not normally add in. And then you've got a lovely lunch or side salad that you can bring to the party.
So simple.
Yay or nay? Tell me in the comments.
I am yaying that. They make it look so easy.
All right, so this is chicken salad wrap. And this is a new idea. If you've never seen this before, I thought it'd be fun to share. You take the collard green leaves and you blanch them and they become your wrap. Now, this also is really fantastic with those wellness wraps that I mentioned previously, the Olay. This could also be a chicken salad that you have on top of just mixed greens. And of course, on a piece of bread or with crackers. So once you make the chicken salad, it can really go on anything, but this is a fun new way to use collard greens, that's for sure. Gotta have some apples in your chicken salad. It adds a really great crunch, extra nutrition, more fiber. And then we're also using walnuts, which are a great source of omega-3s. And you chop them really finely.
I'm eager to see what dressing she makes.
She just uses mayonnaise.
Oh, just mayonnaise. Okay, cool. That's easy. Hopefully we all have mayonnaise. There you go. My grandmother always added a little bit of French dressing as well. Mayonnaise and French dressing. That was her secret sauce for all her chicken salad. Look at that. Snaky, snaky.
There you have it. So, two fresh summer recipes to consider. And we shared some of our favorite ways to balance the plate and to make some quick fix meals.
That's right. So now we know that summer is full of fun and also can get us a little off track. That happens. That's part of the seasonal ups and downs and ebb and flow. So with that in mind, instead of pressing pause this summer, we encourage you to just figure out how to dial in and dial back so that you can continue to make progress towards your wellness goals and not feel like you're just going backwards and then have to make up for it at the end of summer. And we've got lots of different ways for you to add color and fiber to your meals and events this summer.
So here's what we would like you to do. Maybe you can pick a favorite colorful dish to bring to your next gathering. Or maybe you try a new quick fix meal to add to your dinner rotation. Or practice saying no thanks. Maybe next time. Keep me in mind for the next time you do that. Those are some ways to implement what we talked about today, or whatever is that one takeaway from you. We hope that you're able to go and put it into action or experiment with it.
Feel free to let us know what is your action step from today. What are you going to try? I know a lot of us are going to go to the grocery store and get some grilled corn this weekend, or some corn so we can grill. And also feel free to pop into the chat box if you have any follow-up questions from what we've been talking about today.
Otherwise, if you aren't in our Facebook group, Nutrition Know-How for a Well-Balanced Life, we invite you to be a part of that. Follow us on Instagram and check out our website, our blog, and you can book a clarity call there at wellbalancednutrition.com.
There you go. Just sent over that link for the Nutrition Know-How group.
We appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. Thanks for coming. It was nice to see you guys.
Yes, thanks for joining us in the chat and talking about some of our favorite things like food. We appreciate y'all and Hope that you have a wonderful summer, and be sure to join us over in our group and follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, Sarah shared that she's going to maybe bring some more balanced sides to gatherings. I like it. And look into more quick options. We're always looking for quick options, that's for sure.
Oh, and Bella's going to make her own dressing.
Yay, Bella! I do it about 50% of the time. Maybe sometimes it's more like 25%. But when I do, it is so tasty. It's always nice to have a fresh dressing, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm a sucker. I always make my peanut butter sriracha dressing with the coconut aminos instead of soy sauce. Sriracha, peanut butter, and water, and pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Shake it up really good, and oh, it's so good. Just make a little Asian flair in any of your salads.
Sounds good.
As you know, I'll put peanut butter on literally anything. All right, y'all. Well, get out there, enjoy the sun, stay cool, and stay hydrated.
Yes, and have fun. We'll see you next time.
That's right. And keep on enjoying the journey.
Bye, everybody.